Hey everyone, Just Sports with John, and here with a new video today. We're going to be talking about NBA second round playoff breakdown. So we have 8 teams left, and we have starting off with the Heat and 76ers series. I'm starting off with this because the big news is that Joel Embiid, is going to be out indefinitely with an orbital bone fracture, I believe, and a mild concussion. So he is definitely not going to play the first game, which I believe is Monday for them. He's got to be out a minimum of 5 days. So we already know he's going to miss the first game. And I think Heat already went going into this already had a good chance to win this series probably in 6 games. Now with Embiid out and especially missing the first game, I think that's going to give the Heat a big advantage. So um, the questions there are, when does Embiid come back? Nobody's really certain right now. Like I said, for all intents and purposes, he'd probably be out this whole series. At the very least, if he gets over his concussion, I don't know if they can do a mask for him or not with an orbital bone. Probably not. So you figure he's got to get cleared for that. So um, the question now is how much can Harden step up, and can anyone else step up? I mean, Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey. I mean, we kind of know what these guys are at this point, so it's real hard to fathom anybody else is going to step up, especially because the 76ers have been rolling like this for a while, depending on so much on Embiid, and they just got Harden not too long ago. So I just don't see it happening. I mean, that's huge, huge loss. It'd be similar to Nuggets losing Jokic, Um, and I just don't think Harden's going to be able to turn back that clock and go back to when he was like 26 and dominating. So I think the Heat should start off at least 2-0. They should definitely win the first game, and most likely they win the second game. And I think that it's very, very possible that they're going to sweep this series. So I see the Heat in 4 or 5. 4 if Embiid doesn't come back. 5 if he comes back by the third game. They might win one, with his return. But yeah, I think Heat win that series. So second series I'm going to talk about is the Bucks and Celtics series. I think this could be one of the best series, except that we don't know. It sounds like Middleton will not be in this series, so that's a big loss for them. I do think Bucks have a lot of other players like Lopez, Holiday, um, a couple other guys that can step up at times. Bobby Portis is another example of that. I think it's just not going to be one person in particular that's going to step up, though. It's going to be like a different guy each game. They're going to have a different guy each game. Holiday and Giannis should be consistent, but every game they're going to need somebody to come and bring it. So we'll see about that. But I just think the Celtics defense is too much. I mean, you got Marcus Smart, one of the best defenders in the league. You got Jaylen Brown, one of the best defenders in the league. Jason Tatum's one of the best defenders in the league. And that's 3 guys right there. And they're bigs, Tice, Grant Williams and other Williams. I mean, 1 through 6, 7, they're just dominant with their players on defense, and I think it's going to cause a lot of like help and double teams on Giannis, and they're only going to have Holiday, Portis, and Lopez really to depend on, unless somebody else every game comes through for them, and I think even then it's going to be hard. So I'm going to predict that you know seeing as how Middleton's not expected to play in this game or in this series, I'm going to predict the Celtics in 5. I think the Bucks could possibly stretch that to 6 if somebody steps up each game, but I'm gonna say Celtics in 5. That's how I'm feeling about it. And I think the 2 best series will be the next 2. I think uh, Suns and Mavericks has a chance to be pretty good. And this is going to be one of these like experience versus inexperience. That's the first time that Doncic with the Mavs has gotten past the first round, and that matchup between Paul and Doncic is very key. Doncic at this point is more athletic, more talented in a way all around than what Paul is at age 38, 37, 38. So I think Doncic has to keep being aggressive, keep pushing the envelope, make smart decisions. Paul's a real savvy defender, so Doncic's got to use his height, drive Paul to the basket, frustrate Paul. I think if Doncic can do that, Mavericks have a pretty good shot. They also got to get some mismatches, not only on Paul, but maybe on Booker with Doncic. But I think the Mavericks have a chance. But I think all in all, the talent level for the Suns is still a lot better than the Mavericks. But I do think the Mavericks are going to make this series pretty close. I think Suns will win it in six, and I think a lot of it will also come down to coaching. I think Monty Williams is a better coach than Jason Kidd is, and I think we'll see that. Um, and then I think the Warriors and Grizzlies. This is kind of the series that it's either going to be a flop, meaning that I think the Warriors will either just dominate the Grizz, or the Grizz will actually be able to use their youth and experience, or youth and um, talent and energy to put up a fight with the Warriors. Now, so I think the Grizzlies have to be high energy, constantly running things. A lot of the Grizzlies players are a lot of the Warriors players are now getting a little older. Stephen Curry's still, just now got back in the starting lineup. So I think Grizzlies got to keep pushing the envelope, not make mistakes. They can't turn the ball over. And Jackson has to be really good in this series because you're going to have these mismatch with like the death lineup or whatever they're calling it, where Draymond Green is playing center and being out at the 3-point line, and Jackson's going to be pulled around all there. Jackson has to bring it. If Jackson doesn't bring it, he's sucking, and they run with these smaller guard type lineups. I think it's going to get real hard for them to leave Jackson in. Now, one good thing about Grizzlies is Tillman and Brandon Clark especially have been doing really well off the bench. So, I think Taylor Jenkins for the Grizzlies, if he can see that and go to that faster. And Tyrus Jones too, backup point guard for Grizz, has to be spot on with Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, um, all these other guys that the Warriors can bring off the bench in the guard positions. Tyrus Jones has to be good. But I think ultimately the Warriors, just with their experience, just the way that they have everything going, I think the Warriors will win this in six. Um, but we'll see what the Grizzlies do. So that's the playoffs for round two. That's the matchups that I see coming. And obviously, we have some things that can change as we go forward. And let me know what you guys think. Please leave comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. That's always appreciated. And also share these videos with people you know who might enjoy them. So pretty soon, I'll have videos coming out about NHL playoffs as well, too. And I'll plan on doing an NHL draft or NFL draft breakdown at some point. And I'll see how I do that. Maybe think of grades or whatnot. But anyway, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye.